Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. This is part 3 of the biggest journal I've ever made, the Tim Holtz journal. And if you haven't seen the first 2 parts, I will have them linked below. Today we are going to be working on the inside covers, and I want these to be super interactive as well as this one was. So I kind of have a little bit of an idea, but I think we're going to start on this one right here. So basically when you open up this journal, it will be this right here. I don't know, I just want to give you some kind of a visual. So my idea, I don't want it to be too chunky, but I do want a few things going on with it because that's fun. And so I did just grab some Tim Holtz paper here, but I know that I want there to be some kind of a folder, but I also think that I want there to be like a really large coin envelope. I was kind of inspired. I was looking through basic supplies and saw this, and I liked the idea of having a coin envelope that has maybe a little window in it, but I'm gonna make it. So let me grab, I'm just gonna kind of mess around with some paper here. And I think I'm gonna fold this like into thirds. To create the envelope part of it. All right, so I'm just gonna fold down where I want the top flap to be. Do I want, no, you know what, I'm gonna have this be the front because we have our fold marks here. So we'll fold it down this way. And I'm gonna get the journal out of the way because we don't need it. Okay, then I'm gonna use those fold marks as a guide. And I'm going to trim some of this off. Where did my scissors go? Oops, didn't turn my phone off there. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out this little triangle, and I know you can't see the fold marks on here, but I'm gonna cut at an angle. I think it'll make more sense in just a second when I refold it so I can show you what I'm doing here. So then when we fold this back up, oh wait, that doesn't really make sense because because the opening's right here. So I should have, well, that's okay. It needs to be folded this way. Okay, and then I need to just trim these down a bit so that our flap can shut all the way. Yeah, there we go. So that's okay, we'll have it go this way. Then I want there to be some kind of a closure. Like I'm gonna grab my circle punch. I think we'll just do a little one like this. I'm just gonna try to do a punch where there's the little rows. And I might need 2 of these. Kind of just making this up as I go, just in case I need a few more. Okay, so I know, so I need 1 of these on here. I'm gonna grab my inks as well as my crocodile. Let's go ahead and ink these up. Now I have to remember I wanted a little window. So my phone is going crazy right now. I'm gonna place this like in the center-ish of the flap here, and I'm going to punch a hole using my crocodile. trying to think this through so that everything actually works out, because it's been a while since I've made one of these. I think I need to add the string now. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. I actually have some right here, but I think we need a pretty long piece, so let me grab some more. Well, I gotta find it. Okay, can't find the exact twine I wanted, so I'm gonna use this wax linen thread because it's not too thick. So I think that will work. And again, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, I'm gonna put the string through the hole. This might not work, but I think it's going to. And then I'm gonna put the eyelet in the hole, so when we clasp this shut, it should hold that string in place. Yeah, this should work. Do I want 2 circles? I feel like there's a reason to do 2. Okay. Whoops. Okay. It's just been so long since I've done this, and I'm like, I think that you want 2, but why? I don't know. So we'll just do it anyways. And we'll put everything back through like that. Maybe I'm supposed to sandwich the string in between the 2 circle discs, but I think this is gonna work. So, okay, we're gonna close this. There we go. Now, obviously we're gonna need a second one of these little circles right around here, which we'll do before we close everything, but I wanted like some kind of a window, so I need to figure out how tall I want this. So I do need to, I'm just gonna bring it over to my journal real quick. I have it marked right here. So I want it to be no taller than that, but we need room for a little flap too. So I think, actually, okay. Then I want this to come, well, actually, I'm not gonna make a little flap, I'll just sew it closed. Okay, but now for the little window, just like a little window right around here. And I kind of just like wanna tear it, just, I don't know, just some fun little, I'm pretty sure I saw this in one of a journal that I had. I want it to be kind of not perfect, but kind of lined up like that. Okay. I'm gonna use some acetate for the window, but I'm gonna ink that up real quick. This might not work exactly how I have it planned, but it also might. I have some acetate over here. Hopefully big enough. Yes, it is. Now I think the tricky part is how do I attach this to the inside? Okay, let's go ahead, before we move on to adding the acetate, let's figure out where we need the second closure, and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it right around here. And I'm gonna punch a hole. Oh boy, can we not go in that far? I might have to add a little dot here. I'm probably making this a lot more confusing than it needs to be. I don't know if this is gonna fit. I can get a little hole there. Then I have my 2 little circles, so I'm going to punch a hole in the center of them. And I might just need to use a little eyelet because the big eyelet punch doesn't reach all the way in. The question is, do I have a little one? I do somewhere. Okay, now I'm just gonna take, I found a little eyelet. Just gonna push that through here. Oh, is this not gonna fit? This whole thing is a little tricky. Oh yes, we will. Okay. Is that gonna fall off? Nope. Okay, great. So then we have this that will go around here to shut everything. Okay, but now we got to figure out the acetate window. I love these kinds of projects, which I can obviously sew it onto this part. I might just have to glue. Glue will hold. I know that much because I've used this acetate a lot. So I'm gonna start by just putting glue around the perimeter of one side. I do think I want to sew. I just trying to decide if that's going to look funny on one side. Okay, this needs to go underneath here though. So actually, again, you're just seeing all the mistakes right now. It needs to be glued on this side first. But this is literally how I figure things out sometimes. Okay, there, then that one goes down. I think we're just gonna keep it glued. It's definitely gonna stay, but now, real quick, I need to add glue to the insides of this flap and this flap. So not a very well thought out project, but a very fun project in the end. I don't know if you would be able to follow it, and there's probably a way easier way to do this. But I am gonna sew around the edges of everything now. So here we go, it's all sewn around the edges. And we can close it like this now. Oops. And you just do kind of a figure 8 sort of thing. And once you do this a few times, this will be much easier. But let me see if I need to trim any off. Probably don't need all of this. Okay, so I really like how this turned out. I don't like this guy's face right here. Sorry, mister. So I'm gonna do some kind of a little collage-y snippet moment. And let's just go ahead. We'll start with some Tim Holtz washi tape. Like that. Maybe, I like this purple. Something that will stand out a bit more. Yeah, so maybe the purple or, ooh, one of these. But I think that's too big. Pink would maybe look good too, and I don't need this whole thing. I'm just gonna rip some. Oh, and then a label would be great so that you can label what you are putting in here. Okay, and a little piece of this fabric washi, I think it's called. So let's make sure we're in frame here. Okay, I'll just put a little bit right there. Glue that on. Kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like how this is just off to the side. I think I want this to be over here. Yeah, kind of like we can just fold that over. Just like that. And then I will layer on this little flower. And I love how it turned out. And now when you put something in the pocket, this little window will just reveal a little of something. A little peek of what's in there, which I think is so fun. Okay, great. So we have the main thing. So I want this to be, when you open it up, that'll be like the top, but I still wanted there to be more of an interactive element. So I was thinking have this on top of like a little folder. So I found some paper here, and I was thinking maybe putting it on here. And since it's covering most of this, I think I will just go ahead and cut off this bottom half. This is a prettier print, so we'll save that for a time when we can see it. And then we'll go ahead and I'll just glue this on right now. Kind of don't want to overthink too many parts of this. Already took me so long to make the folio envelope. So I just glued the 3 sides, and then obviously that will give us a little side pocket here. And just for now, I'll go ahead and pop something in like that. Although I feel like if I'm doing that, then we need to put a little tab on it. So let's wait to fill things up. I say that and then I keep grabbing for things. Actually, this, I feel like I need something that was like a different color. Okay, there we go. There's that. I definitely need a little tab on the folder itself, and I kind of want to use some vellum, which I know I have, yep, right here. Just gonna cut off. This already has like a little square. Let me bring you out just a little bit more. I'm gonna fold that in half. Ooh, I got staples for my stapler, so let's use that. Okay, I got my staples. So now I do need to make sure that I'm not gonna make this tab too big. In fact, we might have to take you out for now. Just gonna place it on the journal real quick. I know it's out of your view real quick, but yeah, okay, we don't have too much space to work with. So we'll just make a little tab. In fact, I'm just gonna pull this up just because I know it hasn't dried completely. Just do a little enough one that it's obvious that you gotta pull something open here. Now I'm just gonna staple this on. There. So now when we open it, we just have this blank folder, which is fine, but I know I want to do some pockets here. And I'm sort of thinking, okay, I've been wanting to use a lot of this lace, but of course, let's also use some fabric. Let's do a little fabric pockets. Have some scraps here. Ooh, this is fun. Okay, I'm just gonna start by cutting this down a bit. Trim this off. I probably could have done this pocket before we glued the folio on, but not a big problem. We will figure it out. Okay. I'm actually just going to make this pocket not straight onto the folder. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's get some of this beautiful lace. Trim it down. So I grabbed a piece of just scrap paper that fits nicely on the inside, and I am going to just sew the fabrics and lace onto this. So we'll just go like that. In fact, it might even make sense to use 2 scraps of paper, and we're actually just going to make the complete pocket off of just like floating, I guess you could say. Just gonna layer on that lace like that. So I'm gonna take the first layer of paper here, and I'm just gonna sew all the way around the edges. And then we'll go ahead now and sew it onto the second piece of paper, which is the same exact size. And we're just going to sew around the 3 edges. In fact, I'm gonna sew it upside down so I can see where I'm sewing. I'm just gonna do a straight stitch here though. Okay, then we can fold this in half just to figure out where that fold mark is gonna be. And we can just glue this now to the inside of our folder. But first I'm going to trim the extra fabric. I just don't want too much. I don't mind if there's a little bit, but there we go. Get rid of these. Okay, then, yeah, and we'll just glue it down all over. And make sure that we glue the right side up. Okay, oops. So just line up that center there. Yes, 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 perfect. Okay, I'm gonna see you back at the table and we can go ahead and attach all of this into the journal. Okay, so we have our folder now with our cute little envelope on top. I found this cute little clip here that was literally just on the floor, and I'm gonna put it on the lace here. We can add a little Tim Holtz coin at some point if I find some. I know I have some charms and things that I will want to add into the journal, but I don't know where those are yet, and we'll just do it at the end. So let's see if I can close this silly little thing. I just like the way the little pins and charms look against lace. Okay, so we've got that done. I could add more, but again, I didn't want too much bulk, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. And so that will be here on this side. And I am just going to go ahead and glue it down. And then we're gonna do the back side. It's not gonna be as intense as this one. Maybe it will. We'll see. Okay. Lots of glue here. We're just gluing straight down to fabric. Kind of center that, make sure, yep, make sure I'm in the middle here. Okay, so then we're gonna be working, this is coming together so fun. In the center, we're gonna sew in journal pages, but so now we have the back cover. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is move this to the side. Now I have this little flap too, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I kind of want to add something, and I was thinking like a little double pocket, and I kind of started one with vellum. So maybe we ought to do that right now. So I have a couple Tim Holtz stencils I really like, and I think I'm gonna go for this one that has like some florals. And I'm just going to actually kind of randomly, messily use a brown. I might be getting it on my table, but that's okay. Doing some places that are a little bit darker and some that are a little bit lighter. Okay. A little bit down here. Just some right here, even though we might have pockets covering that, I'm not sure, but anyways, now I already kind of cut down some vellum, and I wanted to do kind of like a crisscrossy pocket up here, like that. Yep. And then this one down here. So I'm gonna go to the sewing machine just off camera and sew around the edges, but real quick I'll show you what I'm gonna do for the back panel. Probably gonna do the stenciling on, no. For this one, actually, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this right here. I am going to do one of my favorite little pockets, which I'm gonna sew around the edges and in the center and have a double pocket. I have these done. So we have pocket here, a little side pocket here, and then one in the back here. And then this was the other page that I created with the double pockets. You can kind of see there. And so these are going to go on that flap. I'm going to show you. This flap right here, sandwiching each other. I think I'm going to do, it's getting so messy on here. This one and then this. So I'm going to take these to the sewing machine and sew them on, but before I do that, because I kind of want to finish up this right here. For this page, I'm not going to do too much, it's the back, and so I'm going to put this down here, and then I'm going to use one of these little like treat bags, and I think I'm just going to do, let's just do a little, like a little layered Tim Holtz snippet, I think, is what we'll do here. Grab a little bit of lace to layer on. Yeah, just like that, and then maybe like a little word sticker. Ooh, I'm gonna do this one. It says, my favorite part. A little, okay. So then I'm just gonna go finish up the sewing off camera and we'll be done with the inside covers. And then the next video, we're gonna just be working on the pages, which should be pretty easy. So we are getting there. This has been a lot of work, but so much fun. Okay, put that little label there. All right, so I'm gonna come back after this is all complete and show. Okay guys, I feel like I need to zoom out to even show you. It's such a wreck, but I am so excited with how this is turning out. So let's go ahead and I'll open it up and just show you. So this is the first panel we worked on. We have the flip up, the side pocket, and then when you open it this way, we have this piece over here that we did in the last video as well. And then over here, we have our fun folio envelope with our double pocket folder. And then if you come over here, this is that flap that we just worked on. So we have our vellum pockets, we have the double pockets, and then we have this page right here, which has just the little pretty simple envelope. And again, this is where we are going to sew in all of the signatures. I don't even know how many we're gonna have because there's a lot of space, and I'm just so excited. So in the next video, we will start working on those signatures. I hope you got some inspiration from this video or enjoyed seeing this process, and I will see you in part 4. Bye guys.